What a wonderful day. September's behind us, so that means I don't have to buy that many games. Hey Wallet, do you know what month is next? Well, let me check that for you real quick. No!
Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and today we're here to look at the most exciting games coming out in the month of October. We have some really huge games coming out, so let's just stop waddling around and get right into it. The first game on the list is NieR Automata, the End of YoRHa Edition. The game is developed by Platinum Games. They also made Bayonetta and Astral Chain, and it's a hack-and-slash action RPG. In this game, you play as the droid 2B, in a near future where robots have driven humanity off the planet all the way up to the moon. Then on the moon, they have developed set battle droids who they then send back to Earth, and among these battle droids is 2B. This is a game that released back in 2017, and you could play it on the PlayStation, Xbox, computer, but you could never play it on Switch. Right up until now, so look out for this game if you like a dystopian hack-and-slash type of game, and even if you don't, I've just heard really good things about NieR Automata. Sion says it's just a must-play game, and it's just always rattling about how I need to try this, so look out for this game when it comes the 6th of October. One day later, on the 7th of October, we have No Man's Sky. Again, a game that released on other platforms prior to the Switch, and this one came out all the way back in 2016, yes, before the Switch even came out. The history of how this game came to be is a bit of a mess. When it came out, it was very unfinished. There was a lot of promises that just weren't being met. But they've been updating and improving this game for 6 years, and it's safe to say that now it's actually more or less that game that they promised in the first place. Lucky for all Switch owners, the Switch will have all these improvements, and it just looks to be a really good port. I mean, when I see footage like this, I typically think this is going to be a cloud version, but no, this is a native Switch port. If you don't know what No Man's Sky is, it's a truly open-world sandbox game set in space. Explore, survive, reach new planets with its own ecosystems, new climates, new animals, and play together with friends. I mean, if you still don't know quite what it is, it's the type of game like Minecraft. You don't really have a set objective. You can just go out and explore this world, farm materials and stuff. It's not at all like Minecraft. It's just like that open sense that you can just keep going in one direction and you will just see new stuff. You might see planets that look similar, but it's all newly generated. So if all that sounds interesting, check out No Man's Sky coming to the Switch on October 7th. The third game on the list, and as a Dane, how can I not include this? It's LEGO Bricktales, coming out October 12th. I'm not including this game just because, oh, it's LEGO. No, this actually looks pretty interesting. It's not your normal LEGO game, LEGO Star Wars, LEGO Indiana Jones. It's more of a LEGO game where you actually build LEGO like in real life. It's a single-player, adventure puzzle-type game. Let's say you need a bridge to overcome this section. Well, you get the tools and then you have to use your own imagination to create a sturdy bridge that won't collapse because of gravity. It just reminds me a lot of when you played with Legos as a kid. You didn't use the instructions, you just had a bunch of pieces and then created whatever you wanted, and it just seems like this is kind of like the same thing. They don't instruct you as much as one might think. Just finally a LEGO game actually about building LEGO. Oh, and the story of the game is that you have to help your grandpa save his amusement park. So you go through these portals to all sort of different areas with different puzzles. It just looks neat. Check this game out when it releases the 12th of October. The 14th of October, we have Dragon Ball The Breakers. Now, this isn't your ordinary Dragon Ball's fighting game, so the question is, what is this game about then? It's an online multiplayer action game. 7 people play as ordinary citizens, and they have to try and escape from the Raider. The Raider can choose Dragon Ball rivals such as Cell, Frieza, and Buu. And the Raider starts like not very powerful, but the more they hunt these citizens, the more powerful they get. The citizens can escape with a time machine sort of thing, so they have to work together to not let the Raider destroy that. But even if the Raider do, there's also other ways of escaping that area. You can also collect Dragon Balls that will grant you wishes, so you can fight as Goku as a small period of time, but the Raider can also collect these Dragon Balls, and you have to be very careful because then the Raider just gets even more powerful. The Raider wins if they stop all the citizens, and the citizens win if they escape the Raider. It's just a very unique take on an online multiplayer game. I've not really seen anything like it, and it's just nice that they're taking the Dragon Ball video game franchise in new directions. So check out Dragon Ball The Breakers coming out the 14th of October. The next game on the list is a fighting game, however. It's Them's Fighting Hurts, coming out the 18th of October. Now, don't let the art style fool you. This might look like a My Little Pony-esque fighting game, but it is much more than that. You have your normal fighting game, but the cool thing is that each character has their own magic abilities. But you also have a really fleshed out single player campaign where the overworld is this pixel art RPG-esque style, and then you fight these cool bosses. There might not be a ton of characters, but as said previously, these characters play very differently. It's the sort of game that you have to try out to really see why so many people think this game is good, and you can do that on Switch when it comes out the 18th of October. This one is a big one coming this month. It's Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope, coming out the 20th of October. It's the sequel to Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle, but they are changing up a fair bit of the formula. For starters, the grid is gone. Yes, it is still tactical battles, but now you can move around freely. Also, the overworld is much less linear. There's more stuff to do. Where Kingdom Battle was much more of a straight line, it's gonna be less linear, and I just think that's a good change. Another good change is that this game is not set in the Mushroom Kingdom, it's set in space. And with the theme of space, we of course have some characters that represent that. Rabbid Rosalina is here to stay, even if she likes it or not. And we also have foes helping you out like Bowser. Oh, this is cool. You know what else is cool? Mario has 2 guns! Imagine telling people that in the 90s. It just seems to culminate into a bigger, better Mario + Rabbids game. And the graphics, this has to be one of the best looking games on Switch. But let's look at that title for just one moment. Sparks. What is that? Well, the sparks are these little rabbit lumas, and they seem to play a pretty big role in the game. But I guess we'll find out how big a role they play on the 20th of October. One day later, on the 21st of October, we have New Tales from Borderlands. It is a story-focused game set in the Borderlands franchise, and you control these 3 outcasts of society in a quest to save the world. The game takes place all across the galaxy. You make choices that affect the outcome of the story, and if you like the previous Tales from Borderlands, this is definitely something for you. It's not a sequel, it's more like a spiritual successor. So check this game out when it releases the 21st of October. The 8th game on this list is another big hitter this month. It's Persona 5 Royale. The game is finally coming to the Switch the 21st of October. If you don't know what Persona 5 is, it's a massive single-player JRPG. You're a high school student attending classes, reading books, working, but after school, you invade corrupted minds of adults. Each mind is kind of like a dungeon that can be very different from one another. The game is set in Japan, Tokyo, but you kind of go in between the real world and the shadow world. And you don't need to play any of the previous Persona games to play this one. Sure, hardcore fans might say you need to play the other ones, and you can do that when 3 and 4 eventually comes to the Switch. But for now, Persona 5 Royal is an excellent entry point into the Persona series if you haven't dwelled into that before. Collect Personas, create bonds with teenagers when Persona 5 Royal finally comes to Switch the 21st of October. And the last game on the list is another big hitter. Wow, we have some crazy games coming out this month. It's Bayonetta 3, coming out the 28th of October. 8 years since the last game in the series, Bayonetta 3 is finally here after being announced almost 5 years ago. It's an action-adventure hack-and-slash game, and the first 2 are very highly seen upon by people. This game has new mechanics like the Demon Masquerade, where you channel your inner demon, and new foes to fight. In the first game you fought against angels, and in the second it was demons. This time around she's fighting the big threat homunculi who are trying to take over the world. It is kind of surreal that this game is actually gonna be out in less than a month. Hack and slash in Tokyo, China, and many other locations when this game comes out the 28th of October. And there you have it. That was the 9 exciting games coming out in the month of October. Are there anything you're picking up? There probably is, because this month was really stacked. Well, let us know down in the comments below and let me know if I missed any games, because this month was just so stacked I couldn't include everything. I tried to include the best of the best. Yeah, stay safe, play some video games here in October. Felix from Nintendo Life here, out.